Hello, everyone. This is your host, Debra Poneman, and I'd like to welcome you to our call with today's guest, Jon Griffin, who will be sharing with us how to activate health and abundance with healing vibrational energies. Jon Griffin's philosophy is that sound is a tremendous healer that can not only reach the heart, that can energetically vibrate with all parts of the body while simultaneously calming the mind and stimulating the soul. Jon, who's performed his music at TED Talks, with the Oneness organization, the Songwriters Summit, and for Michael Jackson, is an amplifier of encouragement. And with his healing sounds and music and intentional living practices, he holds a space for individuals to connect with their core truths and universal consciousness. From the use of crystal bowls to binaural beats to somatic biofrequencies, all of Jon's sound healing is infused with the energy of intention. And today you'll discover how sound can enhance energy and even heal, how the negative effects of sound bombard us every day and how we can counteract them, how to generate focus and motivation from within through sound, what role the power of our intention plays in living our soul's purpose, and so much more. Jon, welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Debra, it is just a pleasure to be here with you and to be connecting with everyone here that's come to the call. It's really, it's great to be here with you now.
Well, I know this is going to be I know we're going to have a fantastic time together, and I know we're going to be experiencing some of your very, very high energy sound, and I'm sure that everyone is looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. And before we do, can you take a few minutes and share with us your journey and also what you believe to be the major turning points that allowed you to get into this area of sound healing and why sound healing is so important to you?
Sure, of course. I, for my entire life, have felt the strong energy of connection, and I've been really lucky in my life to have been a musician for my entire life and to have had a great life of creating and working with other talented musicians and talented people. And I've done this as a musician, as a music producer, as an audio engineer. And as a producer, as a music producer, I really learned how to tap into or to help every person that I was working with tap into their creative source. And as an audio engineer, I played a lot with the actual sounds and studied physics of sound. And, you know, I loved rock and roll growing up, and I loved folk music, and I loved classical music. I loved all of these sounds and was fortunate enough to travel a lot as a child and get exposed to world music, but not only music, get exposed to different cultures around the world as well. And that was just such a divine gift in my life that I felt came with me as I moved into a career of making music and working with sound and working with people in creativity. And it wasn't really long for me before I recognized the kind of environment that would allow a person to feel at ease while creating. Everyone's a little bit different in this, but there's this special combination of elements that comes together, which is part physical space, the space in which you're coming into. Part of it's the sonic space, when people can hear a creative environment, hear that soundscape, that sonic landscape, and feel comfortable and safe there. And then so much of it is just in the mental, emotional, and spiritual space that's created as well. I found that the space I could create for people to tap into their talents, you know, to really get in touch with their expression, was largely creating this safe environment. And I had worked in studios where there wasn't this safety and there was different forms of aggression that would come in from the way that people would just naturally be or resonate. You know, some people are angrier, some people hold a little more tension in them. So I quickly discovered that literally just by holding space, creating this space, there was a tremendous shift that happened in creativity when they were allowed to just let their fears dissolve and be in the presence of pure expression, to be in the moment, to be free of expectation and just to let it out. And when that happens, it's really amazing because people literally step into their brilliance. And that is such an important part of my life. It's always just been one of my deepest desires to encourage the greatness in others. And allowing space for your voice to come forth authentically is something that's not only needed for vocalists and musicians and artists, but it's really for all individuals. It's an opportunity for us to open up and, of course, collectively evolve to a higher consciousness as well. So that's really why I got into sound healing, because I found that I was able to take my gifts and knowledge of music and acoustics and the physics of sound and merge them with my philosophical and spiritual studies and all the traveling that I had done and the experiences that my life had brought me. And I was able to take all of that and create through sound, through frequency and vibration, create this space within a person to resonate with their core truths. So my goal is to get people to thrive in their creativity and share their gifts with the world. Because truly, when we tap into our desires and we do so unabashed, we can find our peace, we can find our love and our joy and completely resonate and magnetically connect with the abundance and self-worth in our lives, allowing that safe environment and space to really connect and have your voice come forth authentically.
Well, you know, when you say that you can create an environment that allows people to, you talked about being in the moment and letting our gifts out. And I could see how you can, possibly I could understand how you could create that in a studio. But I think one of the most difficult things for people in general is for us to let our authentic voice out, for us to be able to, I think you use the word like unabashedly speak our truth. It's difficult. Is there a way that you can create that space for just us living in the world every day, not in a studio with you?
Absolutely. And that is such a tremendous part of the power of sound healing. When you can resonate with a safe environment, it's profound what can come out and how much that voice is freed. And when that safe environment, when that safe space is created inside and really resonates from within, well, then that's with you at all times. That's in your heart. We're also affected by the world around us, and there's so many vibrations that happen around us, from angry, frustrated people to traffic sounds to alarms and buzzers and bells and all of this, that it pulls our attention. And, you know, we're a lot like a tuning fork or like an acoustic guitar, right? If there is a tone that's generated in the presence of an acoustic guitar, well, that guitar, the body of that guitar will physically start to vibrate, and those sounds that are inspiring the guitar to resonate will be heard in the guitar. It's the way that we tune instruments, right? We take a tuning fork and we might spark a tuning fork, hit a tuning fork and put it on an instrument. That resonance moves through the body of an instrument. We can do that with sound and with really any physical being, including the human form, the human body. It's really a profound experience when you first feel it, you know. I've had it happen a lot in my life where I might be talking with someone or in person or even on the phone, and they just begin to open up. They begin to share and express in a way that they hadn't ever quite done so before. And sometimes it's just a place of pulling focus on their thoughts. Sometimes it's going deeper than that to bring up and get out some extreme obstacles. But this space I've been noticing this happening all of my life. It was a little bit of a challenge growing up to be a child and to have adults just opening up to me. And really, actually, what was awkward about that wasn't so much from my perspective, but it was the reflection that I got back from adults of, wow, I can't believe I can open up and talk to you in this way. But I recognized the energetic frequency that could happen between holding that space and honestly inculcating that frequency into an energetic that is expressed between people. Sound literally moves the air, right? It's not something that we touch. It is something that we hear with our ears, but it's also something that we feel with our bodies. It's this beautiful energetic that vibrates into our physical space. So playing with all of these ideas of safety and really playing with ancient tones of crystal bowls and Indian instruments and binaural beats and tones, I've found ways of really creating a space for someone to find that space internally. And really having that internal freedom is such a huge part of this. You know, I mean, the one thing that I saw growing up a lot that adults were expressing and that they opened up to, and kids as well, was this need to get away from any semblance of violence or being told to shut up. And one thing I could never grasp when I saw it was violence or hearing someone tell another person to literally shut up. The obstruction of anyone's voice is a closed door to expression, to truth. And commonly, you know, this really only serves one thing. It serves hierarchy. And it's amazing that we're going through the shift now that everybody's experiencing and feeling in the world, because we're really moving away from hierarchy towards community and cooperation and harmony, right? This, of course, there's an element of this that comes into personal accountability, and maybe we can talk about that later. But obstructing anyone's voice is indicative of this rigidity and causes someone to hold their expression, completely impedes a sense of freedom, and changes their internal landscape. So this is something that has always bothered me, that I don't find is comfortable, and rather than bending to the frequencies of aggression that tend to want to quiet people, I've always found a space to hold to be an amplifier of encouragement. Now, it's easy when we see this with other people, when somebody is telling someone else to be quiet. But when this is happening internally, when we're inhibiting our own voice, when we're supporting that habit of restriction, of limits, you know, that's when it can really be more difficult to be aware of. And I know a lot of people on this call clearly know that the limits we place on ourselves are often the most challenging to move through. But these limitations can be released. And with high-frequency energetic that supports resonating from within, we can break through, literally break through these barriers, find our voice, and express our freedom.
So what I'm understanding, you could tell me if I'm correct, is that there are, in our environment, there are factors that stifle our internal world, like somebody telling us to shut up, like the anger, like the aggression, all of these things that go on in our environment. What you noticed at a young age is that you had a gift to be able to stimulate a person's ability to actually release those blocks that they've internalized and live a life that is perhaps there's a frequency of love or a frequency of healing. Like the tuning fork might be that you are able to inculcate into the music and the sounds that you offer, that there could be a vibration that stimulates healing, a vibration that stimulates encouragement, a vibration that allows somebody to speak their truth. Is that correct?
Yeah, I always have a little bit of a challenge with gift, but, we all have gifts. And I think really what gifts are is resonating authentically. And certainly as a child and as I've moved through my life, it's about a connection to that authenticity, to resonating authentically from within. When I've been in conversations, it's not as though I've said, okay, I can take out my gifts here and I can do this. It's simply honestly being conscious and allowing a space and resonating at the frequency of what is truly supportive and needed. And that kind of vibrational energy is something that we feel in our body. It's literally coded into our DNA, into our cellular structures and our thoughts. That's why we gravitate towards stimulating conversations like the one that we're having here. And, but words don't only have an energy encoding in them, they have power and meaning behind them as well, right? So sometimes we can get caught on those words. Sound, like the ocean, like a bell. I have my bowls here, like a bowl. The way that this sound can energetically move through us in even just the simplest of moments, just like that, it can open up a profound sense of awareness, of intuition, of connection to our core selves within. And that's really what I believe it is it's creating an environment within and around you through sound that supports your best self, that really supports you bringing your gifts, your talents, allowing your desires to come forth, to pull you magnetically towards the life that you want. And I really think that sound is just an incredible space holder for that. I often say to people, you've been hearing your whole life. What have you been listening to? And for some people, it's their own thoughts. Now, we have brains, we have thoughts, we have minds for incredible reasons. And sometimes we get snared on them. We can get caught up in those beliefs. We can have voices come into our lives and into our bodies that have a negative impact on the body and on the mind, and that resonate at a much lower vibration. But we don't naturally resonate at these frequencies. Everything is energy. Everything that's in the universe is energy. We all pretty much know this, I believe. I'm a firm believer and hold an awareness that everything is energy, and it comes into form in different ways. That form is temporary. The forms will leave, but the energy that moves through is continual. And this is the life force that we see that comes through us and that we connect with. And that is such a beautiful part of the connection that we're all seeking, this connection with the divine, connection with that beauty and love and divinity within. So sound, again, holds that energetic of weaving this ancient sonic tapestry around us that holds us and comforts us. Makes us feel good. We know it when a good song comes on the radio or when we hear something. In a moment, we can be taken into a state. It soothes our minds, we feel it in our body, and it truly stimulates our soul.
That is an excellent example, because we all know when we're driving in our cars and some song that we love comes on, it just can change everything from the tip of our toes to the top of our head and from the inside and the outside. And I have to tell you, when you played whatever that was, a bowl, or I don't know what it was, but you played for us for about 5 seconds, I already felt energy shift in my own physiology. And usually I have somebody offer some kind of music or meditation or something towards the end of the call. But could you give us some more of that right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd love to. And what I'd love to do, if I could, is lead everyone through a process, if we could, to connect. Like I said before, I really believe in connection, and I believe that's what we're doing here. I believe in you and the connection that you're making, and the beautiful things that you can share, that you can contribute, that you can create in this world. And your creation, your connection to your authenticity, to your beauty, to your resonant tones, to what authentically resonates within, is what you can offer to all of us and create the life that you want. Connecting with sound, and especially healing sounds that are encoded with these directive energetics to stimulate higher frequencies, help us create this environment for our bodies and for our minds and souls to resonate. So what I'd like for you to do is, whatever you're doing, I'd like for you to stop, if you can, and just find a comfortable position. And I'd like to invite you here by taking a moment, placing the backs of your hands on your lap, allowing your eyes to soften. You can close your eyes, or you can allow your eyelids to drift softly. Easing your eyes, take in a deep breath. And release your breath. Take another deep breath in. And release whatever it is that you've been doing. Just let go and feel your breath. Relax. Notice what you're feeling. Notice how your breath is moving. Notice your thoughts and see them not for their details, but simply as thoughts that can drift past you like clouds in the sky. If you feel like a thought or an idea is distracting you, place it on a pillow by the door, or if you envision yourself outside, place that thought on the soft ground. Thank it for making itself apparent and ask it to stay there while you venture into this process. You can pick it up later if you wish, but for now, ask it to be where it is. Breathing in, feel the fresh air coming into your being, instantly connecting with each cell of your body. Breathe out and feel anything you've been holding in your body just melt away. Now, let's envision a pond, quiet and still. and envision the branch of a tree extending far out over the surface of the water. And at the end of that branch, there is a leaf. And at the end of that leaf, there rests the smallest dewdrop. Take a moment and notice that dewdrop just resting there. Allow yourself to see the dewdrop. See its connection to the tree. And when you're ready, slowly envision that dewdrop releasing itself from the tree, rolling off the leaf and slowly making its way to the pond below. Notice as the dewdrop falls, the shape of the dewdrop, and the way that shape changes as it continues to the pond. Can you see the dewdrop becoming more round? And notice the dewdrop reaching the surface of the water, joining the water. Notice the perfect circular ripples that begin to vibrate outwardly from that center point. Witness the dewdrop connecting with the pond and how this connection goes in and extends out through the expansive ripples to every inch of the surface of the pond. Feel how those ripples are not only on the surface, but gently move that vibration, that spherical resonance through all of the water. Feel the way each ripple moves the air just above the pond. And those ripples extend outwardly, vibrating the air, reaching the leaf and vibrating the leaf and the branch, and continue to observe and feel that vibration as it extends to the edge of the pond where you've been standing the whole time. Hear those vibrating airwaves reach you in a simple sound. Slowly allow your awareness to come back to your body. Feel each cell as you breathe in, and feel the tingling of each sparkling point that connects. Notice your fingertips. Begin to move your fingertips and your toes. Feel your feet. Notice the seat beneath you. Feel the connection you are making. Slowly open your ears to hear the sounds around you. allow your awareness to expand like that dewdrop, radiating out around you in all directions. And as you're comfortable, start to open your eyes. They can be soft. Take a deep breath in and let that breath come spilling out of you. Again, take a deep breath and let that breath come spilling out of you. If you'd like to, I'd invite you to place your hands before your chest and say thank you for the grace and ease and simplicity in my life. Thank you for the grace and ease and simplicity in my life.
You know, I want to make an observation, and that is, you had said that sound could change our environment.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain how? I mean, we're physical, alive beings. I could see how that sound completely just changed all of our bodies. But how about, an empty room, or I don't know, something that's not alive?
I love the idea of an empty room because I think there's never really an empty room. And I think that seeing the emptiness comes from a perspective of scarcity. There's different audios that I've certainly played with to move through scarcity and to literally shift from seeing empty spaces to a vibrational energy of everything alive around you. And, for some people, they think that's a little far-fetched. But we are all energy, and we're energy in motion. And, there's an amazing science about what's going on with sound waves. We know that we use our ears, or if you don't know, maybe you'd like to know that we use our ears to maintain our equilibrium, to keep our balance, to work with this world in which we're in to keep our balance. So sound can not only change the internal landscape, but it can physically change your external landscape. Because when you resonate with these frequencies and you resonate with intentions that support your desires for the life that you really want, for the energy that you want to be, for the freedom that you want to have, for the amount of money you want to make, for the life that you know is waiting for you. Well, you create that resonant tone inside. It creates a resonance all around you. And a lot of us have lived in environments where we've continuously tried to adapt to our environment to find the best way of being. That, okay, well, I can put up with this to do this. I can do this. I can make use of this. And this is where we start building up piles of papers in our personal environment. This is where we start noticing clutter show up, when there's a compromise. And this is a much different sort of subtler compromise of that voice, of that expression, of that tone and that resonance of freedom, of needing to express, of sharing your gifts, of letting that out. That empty space is an endless opportunity. And simply by being in that empty space, you resonate energy into that empty space. When we get caught up in the externals, we know that there's so many external elements that we can use to identify ourselves, from cars to what have not, clothes and all of that. But we also know that that's just as temporary as our own mortality, our own being. So connecting with what is authentic and what's real and what we are doing here, what we're here to express, what we're here to experience, and what we're here to share. We begin to identify with that we are manifestations, temporary in human form, of a divine life force, of life force. And just as life manifests what it needs, as this energy manifests what it needs to continue, the more we open ourselves to this energy within, that we are inside, we magnetically draw ourselves to the life that we want, to the abundance, to really how we want to resonate, how we want to show up in the world, and how we authentically want to share and participate in the world. So, yes, sound can literally transform your space. You'll notice this if you walk into a room where people are watching a sports game. Boom, the energy is instantly transformed. Or if you walk into a silent temple, instantly the energy is transformed. You can feel that, and you can feel that space, and that echoes something within. So I'm not here to tell you what you are great at, because that's your job. Your job is to, or your great joy, your great life purpose is to share with us what your beauty is, what your greatness is. Part of mine is connecting with this kind of energy that can support you in stepping into your brilliance, in creating this space, in creating not only the internal space, but the space all around you that you will feel in your body. I do something called Sunday sound baths, and it's where we infuse intention into sound. And it's really cool. It's really cool, and people just love it. And I've had profound comments and results that have come back from people that use the Sunday sound baths to literally release pain in their body or release limiting beliefs in their thoughts. Resonating at this high level frequency, you clear out all of that other stuff to step into the life that you really want.
I'm still vibrating from that 10 minutes.
I can keep talking. I can certainly. I love that you're vibrating. I love that everyone here is vibrating. I hope that you are indeed, because you are just a cherished energy and being, and I am so thankful that you have the courage to show up the way that you do in this life, to participate in something like this call, Your Life Without Limits. Tapping into that potential, that energy within you to live your life without limits. It's entirely possible.
And one of the other things that you have mentioned, that this and I get that we can actually, when we do tap into that internal space, that sound, that we can actually null and void those lower vibrating frequencies. Like we become the tuning fork. We can allow that higher vibration frequency to manifest. Is that true? That we actually can become that energy that null and voids those lower frequencies?
Absolutely. We are tuning ourselves. We tune a lot to the sounds that are around us. And when they're discordant, we feel discord within our lives. When we take the time to tune our bodies, whether it's through exercising good health or, listening to motivating speakers, when we take these times to tune, we can really create beautiful sounds. And that does get reinforced and become more frequent in your life the more and more that we do this, the more and more that we allow for this space. It's really a matter of how we take care of ourselves, how we show up and take care of ourselves. And yes, like a tuning fork, tuning a guitar. Oh, this needs a little tune. But
I want one of those Sunday sound baths is what I want.
Yeah, they're pretty dreamy. They're pretty awesome, and they really do just open up space. Yeah, can I share one with you? Can I share an excerpt of one?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Well, it's been great, and I'd really love to. Again, I invite you to notice what's showing up for you and to see how you're taking care of yourself. A lot of this can bring up some pretty profound things in people, can create some shifts and might even create a little dis-ease, a little uncomfort in you, because it's really calling forth a deeper resonance from within to express yourself authentically. The sound bath that we're going to listen to now, this is a favorite of mine, and this is the Sunday Sound Bath Rebirth. And it holds the intention of rebirthing into each moment and connecting with the possibility of each moment, and not the scarcity of each moment gone past, but really the endless possibility of your human potential, of what you can manifest, what you can bring forth in your life. So let's listen to just a little bit of Rebirth. Now, I want to offer with people in this moment, as you are feeling that, as you're taking that in, that this is an energetic that's happening, that's at work, that you don't need to concentrate on. You don't need to close your eyes every time. You don't need to focus. Lots of people drive around to this audio. I drive around to this all the time, and I live in an area with a lot of traffic, and it brings an amazing amount of peace as I'm doing so. And it's really an invitation to connect with the present moment, to get away from your worries about yesterday and your concerns about tomorrow and connect with right now. Because this is where you have the most profound amount of energy, the most profound impact in connecting everything within with the world around you. Thank you for the opportunity to play that for you.
Well, thank you for that. And I cannot even believe how fast this time has gone, which is just seems like it went by in a nanosecond. I would love if you could share with us some of the shifts that you've seen in people's lives that have used, it seems like used is such a secular word, and your music just seems so sacred, but have used this music in their life. I know that you have helped musicians, you said this earlier on, shift their intention of expression from expectation to authentic contribution. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that we would all love to shift our lives to just always being in that space of authentic contribution. If that could happen for us, we are putting this to work right now. Tell us what you have. But can you share with us any specific instances that you've seen shifts take place in people's lives?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got just thousands of testimonials from all around the world of the profound shifts that people have experienced with this. And, you know, there's a delicate nature to all of this sound that really is providing you with a space to explore and express you. This is completely supportive. This is about connection, right? And, you know, just some of the things that I've heard with people, as I think I was saying before, there have been a number of people actually that have written me and shared that they were in hospital beds with chronic pain, and simply from listening to the music, they were able to feel that vibration move into their body and move through years of physical pain. I had one woman share with me about the way that she used this music to actually get closer with her children. It was really profound. She had a son that would play video games all the time, and she would just play this music very softly throughout the house, just throughout the day, and she noticed that her son would start playing video games closer to where she was, and eventually start sitting right next to her, even playing the games. And then came the moment when her son looked up to her and said, "Wow, I feel really good. I feel like I'm winning this game already." And she told me about the tears of joy that she had when this moment happened. She felt she had a connection that she hadn't felt in a long time with her child. I had another woman tell me that she shared with me that she played a lot of this sound healing for her sister who was in the hospital giving birth. There have been people that have used it to move through just years of anxiety. There was one woman where sometimes sound healing, what it can do is it can create a sense of dissonance. It might bring up things within that feel unsafe. This one woman in particular wrote to me feeling that she wasn't quite connecting with the music, that she was hearing sounds in it that didn't quite sound good to her. And so we talked about it for a moment, and she went back and she moved through it, and she was able to uncover and unlock this lack of safety that she had had in her life. And she said it was amazing to experience the shift in her awareness as she moved through that process, using the sound to connect with what was happening on a deeper level, bringing that into her awareness. And that's a huge part of what this is really doing for people. From all the testimonials I'm getting, from everything that we do in person, it is outstanding the way that this brings into someone's awareness what's going on, what's happening. There's so often that point of moving from the known to the unknown. And when the unknown becomes the known. And what a beautiful, profound shift that is in people to awaken to these moments in their lives where they can see what's been holding them back, what's been keeping them in a particular place, what has kept them from solving problems in their lives, what's kept them from having the relationship that they want, simply by allowing themselves to resonate in this frequency, to feel this energy, not only in their ears, but in their bodies as well, to really take that in. And, I've offered lots of different courses to use with the audios, and it's just amazing the results and the gratitude that people have expressed as far as where they've been able to move, not only in their relationships, not only in their own personal lives, where they've been able to move in their careers. It's just been outstanding.
Well, with that having been said, I would love for you to tell us about the special offer that you created for us, because I know it's about awakening awareness and bringing real consciousness into our everyday lives. And I'd like to invite everybody to go to Jon's special offer right now and experience it for yourself. To access this package for yourself, just click on the special offer button on this web page. So, Jon, could you let everyone know what they'll find there?
Yeah, absolutely. I am really excited about sharing this particular special package, which is the Awakening Awareness Program, a 5-week course that has been designed with the use of sound healing audios to stimulate intentional living and literally awaken awareness, which really allows us to shed the unwanted layers of fear and limitations and effortlessly transform and to move into grace and flow in our lives and feel deeply grounded in our everyday experience. This course really explores different aspects of awareness and feeling totally connected with your body and unshakable with your inner power. This is a 5-week course that comes with 5 audio courses, 5 different sound baths to use on a daily basis, a grounding audio process for those moments that you really just need to be grounded quickly. There's a morning awareness process that you can do every day. There's an evening process to do every day as well. I mean, these have an incredible value just in themselves of transforming the way that we get up in the morning and the way that we go to sleep at night. It shifts the way that we take care of ourselves. So in this course, we explore these different aspects of awareness. In week 1, we dive into oneness and dissolving duality, getting out of that place of stuck, getting out of the place of feeling like the people around you and the universe is conspiring against you, that feeling of that the chips are stacked against you, that things never go your way or any of that. These are all just limiting beliefs that we can dissolve. So that's week 1. And after we get that clarity and we create that space in our immediate environment, both internally and around us, We then take it down to the cellular level in week 2, and we go back. We go back, way back. We go down to the cellular level because our cells actually hold intelligence. And if we don't clear this space, we could be blocked from our own personal awareness, from things that happened before you even had the ability to respond to life or situations. So it's extremely important that we also clear at the cellular level. And the supporting audios that you listen to enhance this resonance and support you through the entire week. So then in week 3, we pull back out, we're back in our bodies, and we connect with sexy, dynamic living. And I really love this week because so many of us are disconnected from the very vessel that holds our soul. And to be connected to our body is to be a spiritual being. And to feel our sensuality and our passions is essential to our awareness. All of our senses are connected to this incredible being. So in order to be aware, we also need to be very present and feel the love, feel the juicy life adventure that is our body. From there, we move into balance. And I think often when people hear the word balance, they'll tend to associate it with being able to maintain a state throughout, just having everything just where it needs to be at all times. But the way that I think of balance is I like to think of the space shuttle. That's apparently 99% of the time, that space shuttle is off course and is making these fine-tune adjustments to get itself back on track 99% of the time. Now, there's a balancing that happens there, right? So balance is beautiful. There is an awareness of the flowing and the motion. It is not being that immovable force, because there are times in life that we need to be a little more focused on our relationships, or we need to focus on our work, and to allow ourselves those shifts and to allow ourselves to make those fine-tune adjustments to shift organically what's happening within us is to maintain our balance. And it's about making the space for each of those moments happen. And not feeling like you have to do it all, like you have to be it all, like you have to have it all at one time. This involves saying to your loved ones, I love you very much. For the next 30 days, I'm steeped in a passion of mine, and I'm going to be dedicated to this, and I'm going to give time and energy to this. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. It does mean that I might not be able to go for a long lunch. And I would really appreciate your love and support as I do this process for myself. It's doing that. It's creating a life of balance in the sense of not making it 100% all the time. It's not 100% this, 100% this, 100% this, 100% this. And that's what this week offers, getting back on track and pulling it all together. And that takes us into week 5, trusting the universe. Trusting the universe is awakening awareness at its finest, to know that everything, though it seems like it may be chaos, though it seems like it may not be going the right way, it's always exactly where it needs to be. And this is not a new concept. You've heard this before, but how can we continue to bring that trust and to build that trust more and more and more and more so that we know it for certain at our very core that we're creating the life of our desire. Now, while I recommend that this is a journey that you can do over 5 weeks, it's really up to you to move through at your own pace. I've also included a number of bonus materials here because I'm human. I get it. I get what this process needs and what it takes, and I really wanted to make sure that everyone was completely and totally supported. So not only do you get the morning and evening awareness exercises and the grounding process that comes with awakening awareness, I also wanted to include these bonuses that really support you in a loving way. The first one is life vibration, deep relaxation. And this is a beautiful hour-long audio that uses binaural beats and ambient sounds of the ocean and crystal bowls in different tones, very soft, and really creates one of the deepest most relaxing states you can experience. I don't think we spoke much about brainwave states, but this will actually activate theta and delta brainwave states that are associated with deep restorative rest and relaxation. So you can move into harmony and rest. When we're looking to transform, when we're looking to shift into this level of awareness, it takes courage. And I want to thank you already for taking the time to show up and to be here, to be present in the way that you are here on this call. The second bonus that I've included here is a Sunday Sound Bath Confidence. And this, plain and simple, really just engages and ignites your confidence, spreading that fire from your solar plexus, from your gut, right from the center of you, to have that confidence. And last but not least, for this world to change, and you are absolutely needed in this process, for this world to change, it takes an open heart. And again, when times get tough and it feels almost like your system may be shutting down, maybe because of something that somebody said or some situation that's come up, or you feel like you've made a mistake, you have to keep an open heart. You have to keep your heart open. And that's exactly why I've included this audio, so that you can continue to open the curtain of your heart and keep it open and keep that open heart and allow your love and presence and grace and light to just move through you, to come through you, and to encourage that open heart through this entire program. So that's why I've made sure to include this audio in this program. And, I really had an open heart when I was putting this offer together, and it's really my mission to put this into the hands and hearts and awareness of as many people as I can, and encourage you to step into your greatness. So that's why I'm offering this for a very special price, because if this is speaking to you, if this is resonating with you, I want you to be able to have this. I really do.
Well, it is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous offering. And I love that each of those 5 lessons, we could do them 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We could have a week in between, or we can do them more quickly, you said, if we choose. But if we choose to do them 1 week after the other, for each of the days, we can do the morning awareness process, the evening gratitude process, the grounding process. We could do that each of the days for the week and then start the new one. Is that correct?
Definitely. It's all meant to build on one another. And you can, of course, always go back and find that support and get that energetic by listening again. But it really is meant to build one on top of the other and keep those daily morning and evening audios with you throughout the entire process. That's exactly right.
If you haven't done it yet, just click on the special offer button on this page to see for yourself what an amazing package this is. You will be so glad you did.
And I heard you take a breath, which means
I did. I was just going to say it's a lot more than a melody, but it is finding your internal melody and speaking your internal truth and allowing that to be the energy through which you move and do everything in your life. And it's a beautiful, supportive state for you to channel your internal melody. So I love that it's melody, because that feels very supportive for what shows up, for the musicality and the energy of sound that can move through your life as you use these audios.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So, Jon, before we sign off, I do want to ask if you have any final thoughts, but I don't think that we told our listeners how much this package is going to be. I know there's so much in it, and can you tell us what the price is?
Absolutely. I offer all of these things separately, but pulling it together in a package, I wanted to give this an 80% discount to this audience for just being so courageous and so fantastic in the way that you've shown up here, and for inviting intentional living and resonating authentically, and your willingness to awaken your awareness. I'm offering this for $97 for the entire package.
Wow. Well, thank you. What else can I say besides thank you? Because any one of the components of this would be worth a lot more than $97 for the impact that it most certainly will have on our lives and our internal lives. So thank you. Thank you for that. And now, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with everyone before we go?
Yeah, I would. You know, I spoke briefly for a moment about scarcity. And we move through a lot of energy in our everyday life, and we move through so much. And to simply live our lives, to find different ends to the means, is not what we know. We know that's not what this life is about. We know what the value of our connections are when we can connect deeply at a much deeper level, not only with the people around us, not only with our environment, not only with community, but with ourselves, with the light that is within, with that beautiful energy within. And this growth, this energetic, this directive energy that comes from this place, well, it doesn't come from a place of scarcity, of needing to pull in. It grows and continues to expand, much like light into darkness. When we cast light into darkness, the darkness doesn't move somewhere else. The darkness is completely filled with light. Imagine for a moment your life in this way. Being an expanding light that continuously inspires the people around you, that continuously shows up in the beautiful ways that you're showing up even right now. Continuously providing the energy and support to authentically bring yourself into the life that you want. I have such gratitude for you for showing up in this way. You're a beautiful, beautiful being. And I thank you so much. And Debra, I thank you. I think some of those sounds may have settled in pretty deeply to you, but I just want to say I thank you so much for holding this space and for really allowing me to share this with everyone here.
And I'd like to say, Jon, that you are truly an authentic and beautiful soul. I mean, we can feel you so powerfully across the world. And I want to also thank you for what you've created. It is so divine and so powerful. And just thank you for being you and the contribution that you're making to the world. And thank you for being with all of us today.
Well, thank you so much.
And we definitely hope that you'll come back again.
This is a vehicle for the miraculous, and I would love it. I would love to connect with everyone again and raise the frequency, everyone. Raise the frequency.
Well, we look forward to it, and again, thank you, and we are looking forward to being with you again really soon.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. My love to all.
And thank you to everyone for spending the time with me and with Jon Griffin. I sincerely look forward to when we are all together again and to you living your life without limits. This is Debra Poneman. Have a wonderful, glorious rest of your day. Bye for now.